În cele ce urmează o să rămânem într-un fel, dacă am fost și până acum în zona de coaching, o să o reîntâlnim, o să o cunoaștem sau o să o reîntâlnim pe Liene Uresina. Are o companie de coaching, vine din zona de business, a fost mai întâi antreprenoare, a dezvoltat un lanț sau a contribuit decisiv la dezvoltarea unui lanț de restaurante în toată Europa. S-a alăturat celor doar 100 de coaches acreditați în echipa lui Tony Robbins. A avut niște obiective foarte ambițioase, dar pe care și le-a atins deja și urmează să le depășească. Voia să sprijine 100 de femei din Letonia în tot parcursul acesta de coaching. Ei bine, se pare că e un obiectiv atins. Acum, obiectivul este setat la 1 milion de oameni care ar putea să beneficieze de sfaturile ei în toată lumea. Liene Uresina.
I couldn't understand what are you saying.
Only
but,
good things.
I hope you didn't lie at least.
Only good things.
Okay. So we have been hearing today a lot of things about HR, about the systems, about the processes, innovations. I'm going to have a different intention. I'm going to be focusing on you as a person. So I have this question. Who wants to have more money in your life? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay. So who wants to have a better relationship with your spouse, with your kids? Okay. Who wants to feel more fulfilled, joyful, happy, energized, motivated? Right. Because at the end of the day, my mission here, why I'm standing here, is because everything starts with you. You cannot lead your team if you haven't taken care of yourself. Do you agree with me, guys? Yeah? So I'm going to be sharing my life story, a small part of it. It's a very vulnerable story for me. So please support me, please help me, because, you know, it's not easy to talk about your failures and hard times. Do you agree with me? Right? Because we want to be perfect. We want that people see us from the perfect way. But my mission is to help people to get back to themselves and be authentic. Because the vulnerability is the power in our lives. Do you agree? I think this is a real bravery. And I want you to look a little bit at your life, who you are, and what is important for you. Shall we start? Yeah? Okay, very nice. So, who remembers one of the biggest economical crises in the world, 2008-2009? Okay, fine. That was the time when me and my husband came from abroad to my home country, Latvia. Actually, we were living in Egypt because he had a business there. So, we were thinking, what are we going to do? Let's start a business, open a restaurant, right? And I remember myself walking down the streets and the shops were closed. People were packing, people were emigrating, bankrupting. It was a really bad situation. But we decided to start our business. The girl from village has no experience in any business. And those who know food industry is the hardest one, do you agree? Who knows the food industry? It's crazy. And we had 17,000 euros in our pockets. What an ambition. So because of this crisis, we went into the old town of Riga and we found these big premises, 2 floors, 430 square meters. And I said, I wonder. Somehow we got this place. You know, we got some investment, we got some partners. People were telling, you're crazy. Who has had that? When you had a dream, your surroundings, people, parents, friends saying, are you insane? Have you had this? Well, everybody was saying. I remember even the guy who was owning a restaurant, he said, you're fucked up. So within a few years, we grew to 8 restaurant chain, selling franchises abroad, having a production. We were really successful. We were everywhere, in the news, in the newspapers, like they were interviewing me, in the magazines. I mean, I had everything that I was ever chasing. And working these years, I don't know, it was after around 4 years or 3 years, I realized that I was successful from the outside, but miserable from the inside. I didn't like what I was doing. But you know how we have these excuses. I'm making good money, I'm traveling, I have good clothes, you know, I am recognized. What was the most important for my ego? Why should I even complain? Because there are people who are living even worse life. Who has this conversation in your head? Right? Sometimes. Thank you. And my main question in my life, whatever I was doing, was how can I achieve? How can I succeed? Because that was the only way how I knew I could be loved and accepted. I didn't know another way. Nobody taught me another way. And I remember there was one day when I was sleeping and I didn't want to open my eyes. I swear to God. It's kind of everybody was rewarding me. Wow, Liene, you know those friends who are not your friends and suddenly they want to be your friends because you can give them something? So I had those friends and those people, but I didn't want to get out of the bed. I was close to the depression. But I think we are very similar, Romanian, Latvian, you know, how we have been taught. You put your lipstick on, women, get dressed and keep pushing. Who taught you to ask, how do I feel today? Right? Nobody cares. They're evaluating us from the results, what we achieve, who we are, how much money we have, which car we are driving. And it is 2012. We were very ambitious with my husband. The biggest festival in the Baltics, Positivus. 30,000 people were attending. And we cannot go with one place because we are big, we are Turkebab. We go with 5 places. And actually, everybody really loved our food. Our food was, people were waiting in the queue 40 minutes. The rest of the catering places, they were empty. You know, festival food, kebab, and everything was tip-top. I had 50 employees with me. And I remember myself standing in this position, looking at it. I had like a black dress, black fur jacket, and I was thinking, so I lost myself? Okay. I said, look what I have achieved, with a pride. The same day, I was in VIP section, of course, because that's very important for my ego, right? And I'm standing there in VIP section and I'm listening Ellie Goulding. And I'm like, I feel like at the top of the Everest and I'm seeing, you know, everybody is down there and I'm up there and I'm listening. My partner comes to me and whispers me in the ear, Liene, people who have been eating turkebab have been hospitalized with food poisoning. I said, what? It can't be true. Like, I'm a perfectionist, right? Everything is always clean and sterile. It can't be true. Unfortunately, it was true. The world stopped. I couldn't hear anything. In 1 millisecond, I ran through everything I've been building and running and chasing. You know, this business was like my baby. I couldn't get separated because I was identifying myself with this business. First, God is whispering, then God is knocking, and then God is screaming if you are not listening. That night, I was falling on the knees to my husband. I said, it's over. That is over. And you can only imagine, you know, everything died. A part of me died. And everything I built in 1 millisecond collapsed. We were everywhere. We were in news. We were in radio. People were giving us angry looks, and there were some children. And plus, I was like, I'm a very empathic person, and I was really, really feeling responsible for everything that was happening. I called my mom. I said, Mommy, please don't turn on television. Please don't listen radio. I was embarrassed, Suddenly, from the girl who was striving, achieving, who was showing everybody the example, I became from hero to zero. The next day, those who are HR people, right? You can only imagine what was the effort that I was putting in my employees at that high stress level. Because honestly, the sanitary inspection, they were taking those people and testing, putting in their backside a stick to check if there is no streptococcus, it was very crazy. And I was like keeping everything and fighting and chasing. And then suddenly I see on the floor there is a blood. What I was feeling inside, it became physical. They took me to the hospital, and I didn't know what was happening, of course. They took me, they made tests, they checked me. And then I was sitting in this corridor. Who has been, right? When you don't know what's happening and you are just sitting and waiting, it feels like forever, right? And I was sitting there, and the calls were coming in. I had 23 unanswered calls. The media was calling. They wanted to know, because I'm a representative of the company, they want to know everything. They have to put the blame on somebody, for news. It's fantastic. And I'm sitting there, and I don't know how minutes or hours, I don't even remember. And I see on the side the doctor is coming slowly, and he says, Liene. I lift my head, and he said, did you know that you were pregnant? I said, what? You were pregnant and you lost your baby. So I lost my business as my baby in 2 days, and I lost my physical baby. I was in the deepest pit ever. I was really scared. Who has, I don't know, I am not religious, but when we are in deep, deep hell, we need to find some support from source, because I was afraid what's gonna happen next. And I prayed to God. I asked my husband to take me to church, and I was praying, God, please help me. Please show me the way. I promise you, if you're gonna help me to understand what is happening, I'm gonna help others. I don't know where did it come from. And then, a few months later, a friend of mine, she said, Liene, you are ready. She gave me the book called First Steps to Success. I read the book, and I started to put the puzzle, started to come together. What was happening, what I was doing wrong, why it was happening. Just a small, slight understanding. But there was so much more. I had to get all the answers, what was happening. So I started my transition. I was going all the seminars you can imagine. I was reading all the books, online programs, hiring coaches. I became a hypnotherapist. I went to all the Tony Robbins seminars. I did everything to find the answers. And I got desperate. Who doesn't like low moments? Who is afraid from pain? Please tell me. Please raise your hands. But the good thing is, only when you are desperate, you become teachable. When you are living, everything is kind of fine. You are kind of finding the reasons why everything is fine. But when you are in a deep hell, you are finding the ways, you're searching, you are seeking in yourself. And then I realized I wanted to be not only beautiful from the outside, but I wanted to be a beautiful from the inside. Of course, I left our family business, and throughout all of this work, I became more fulfilled, more happy, more joyful, and I shifted my values, not from how can I achieve, from how can I succeed, but the only question that I was asking myself, how can I serve and how can I help? And you won't believe this. Even this question, if you change the question in your mind, this is going to guide you a completely different direction. And trust me, this is a very good and fulfilling direction. And you see, I was trying away and hide behind the money. I was thinking if I'm going to have these beautiful cars and everything and the clothes and the trips that society is teaching us, I'm going to be happy. But money should never be your only goal. Never, ever. People ask me now a lot of times, because I'm helping a lot of people in Latvia, thousands. And they say, Liene, what is motivating you? I said, actually, I had to deal with my problems. I don't know if I can swear a little bit. Yeah, but I had to deal with my problems. And I didn't get into the transformation to help others, but I had to help myself first. Because you can't help others while you haven't helped yourself. The same, you cannot help and understand your employees, actually, if you haven't been in their shoes. Do you agree with me? Because when you see them and you have been going through your life journey, it is becoming more empathic. And now, 12 years later, I can honestly say you that I am really in a very nice place. I have never been so happy. We have 2 kids with my husband, and you know, we are happily married for 17 years. We are living in our dream home. Like, I really can say I live my dream life. But I'm not saying this because I wanna show off. I'm saying this because it can be. All of it in your life, whatever you desire. And I will show you through some shifts. Are you okay with that? If I'm gonna give you the formula, step-by-step formula that I did from that miserable, kind of beautiful woman to somebody who is actually fulfilled and happy. Would you like to hear this? Yeah? Okay, great. So the number 1 mindset shift that I did in my head, I would be grateful if you take a note, because there is actually a science behind it. If you just come and you listen, this is a Harvard science, you will go back home, you will remember maybe 10% from everything you have heard. If you take notes, you will remember 40%. And if you're gonna raise your hand and really participate, take notes, you're gonna remember 90%. And I mean, you came here to spend your day and time. It's up to you. How would you like to leave this place? So I really highly encourage you to take some notes, if that's okay. So the one thing that I learned is the law of sowing and reaping. Let me ask you, if a farmer plants a corn in the ground, what does he get off the ground? What do you think? Corn, right? But what are doing most of the people? They are expecting something completely different. They don't understand. If they put in a marriage complaint, resistance, and everything, how come he's gonna become your dream husband or dream wife? Whatever you're gonna put in your kids, also judgment, annoying, is what you're gonna get out. Whatever you're gonna put in your job, the effort is what you're gonna get out. Everything that is right now in your life, sorry, not sorry, but this is exactly what you deserve. This is the hard truth. And you know what? Back then looking, I'm super grateful for all those hard lessons. I don't feel sorry for myself. That's why I can feel and speak about it. Actually, I'm grateful for these lessons. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand. And I realized that everything I have built in my life, I was responsible for. But what we are doing, we are planting the corn. Let's imagine there is a garden. What do you need to do in order for you grow the corn? The corn. What do you need to do with the garden? You need to put in water, take care of this, right? But what are doing most of the people? I want one thing. Oh, it's not working. I'm giving up. The sprout is coming out a little bit. It's too long, boring. And you're giving up so easily. Do you see yourself somewhere where there's something that you want, but you know you don't put the effort? Is there anything like that in your life? And then I realized I'm responsible for everything that I had in my life. Actually, some months later, after everything, this crazy thing happened, my relationship also wasn't thriving. So I was so smart. I was blaming my husband, criticizing. And those who know how is it to work with your husband in the same business, like, well, this is a challenge. And there was one evening when we again had fight about something, and he just simply came to me, Liene, I cannot take it anymore. I'm considering to leave. Another one. That was a wake-up call for me when I realized that I have to take a full responsibility. Because also, who would want better relationship with your spouse? Just honestly, raise your hand. Show me. Yes. There is one thing. Where are we learning relationships? Do you know? In the school, do we learn relationships in the school? Is anybody teaching you how to be a great wife? How is man thinking, woman thinking? Nobody. So we take from our parents the model, oh, trust me, and that model, I had a very bad one. And I'm bringing into my marriage, and my husband is alpha man, so how do you think criticism is working for him? This much. But I saved my marriage. And I'm very proud of this, what I did. But it wouldn't be possible if I wouldn't take the full responsibility. What are doing most of the people? They're blaming government, they're blaming partners, they're blaming, parents, everybody. But with blame, nothing is gonna come out of your life. And coaching thousands, tens of thousands of people, I hear crazy stories, Some are saying, my mommy didn't love me enough. Another is saying, she loved me too much. Another, my husband is lazy. My boss is jerk. Like, you are blaming every single person. And you know why? Because that is the moment when you can say to yourself, I don't need to do anything. Because those are guilty, not me. And this is kind of a good reason to stay where you are at right now. So ask yourself right now, who are you blaming? Or what are you blaming? But you are an adult who has to take a full responsibility for your life. Every single moment, you start your day, and you can wake up and say, okay, let's just go. I will work my 8 hours, and I'm going to come back home. And then I'm going to scream at my kids, and then I'm going to fight with my husband and wife, and watch the Netflix, and then eat some Pringles, and then again, next day, the same again and again. If you're gonna give in any of the area 50%, this is exactly what you're gonna get. My parents were really poor. We didn't have money at all. There were moments when my mother was standing in Soviet Union time, she was counting the pennies to buy the food. And when she got home, she was always fighting with my father because he wasn't bringing the money. But I had two choices. I could continue blame my parents, why to stay where I'm at, or why should I stay miserable and poor, or I had a second choice to do whatever it takes to change this financial situation so that I don't have to suffer so much. And there is another thing. Who thinks that maybe you are too old, you are too young, that you are coming from small town? Basically, because of your past, you cannot build new future. Honestly, guys, raise your hand. Who feels like that? Who has an excuse? Please. Thank you so much for your honesty. If you are not honest to yourself, you will never change anything. You have to be honest to yourself firstly. 2% of the people only are taking responsibility. But I can tell you, your biography is not your destiny. Where you are coming from, how old are you? What is your health? What is your history? Maybe you have made plenty of mistakes. You have always this moment when you can make a decision to change it. So the shift number 2 that I made after all this tragedy, I had to understand, what do I really want? You know, when clients are coming to me and they are saying, I want something, you know, like in business. I'm working with entrepreneurs mostly. And, you know, I'm saying, okay, what do you want? And you know what they're saying? I don't want this, I don't want this, and I don't like this, I don't like this. So stop. What do you want? But you know, we have been trained not to think what we want, but we have been trained to think what we don't want. Listen yourself talk. Do you know specifically what you want as your income, as your health, as your wealth, as your relationship, specifically till the details? If you ask about any single area of my life, I know exactly what I want in business, how much money I want, what type of people do I want to work with, where do I want to travel. Everything is written out. And when we were born, we had this hunger. There is persistence. But where did that go? Because people say it's not possible. Because people said it's not going to work. Do you remember? They said it's not going to work about the restaurant. Are you crazy or what? They said give up. And you are listening. They're right. What separates successful people from the people who are not achieving their goals is because they have a vision, clear, high vision. This burning desire. When they wake up, they have a vision why they need to wake up. I know if my mission is to transform 1 million people's lives, I cannot wake up and say, oh, I'm tired. Those who have seen me today, I don't know. You see, I'm running every single day. Every single day I'm running. Then I'm meditating. Then I'm doing this. Why? Because I have this burning desire to help, because I'm an example for the people. And I cannot afford to say, I'm tired. Today is not the right day. Look, outside is raining. I run in minus 15 degrees. Because I have a purpose inside of me. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And 98% shrink their dreams into their existing situation. Because it's very hard to think about the villa in the Malibu when you are living in some communist home, right? Actually, I have lived in the really, really bad places. But your mind is like a navigation. Your mind is like a navigation. What you're going to focus on is what you're going to put. It's like that. If you're sitting in the car, if you don't know where you are going, you're going to drive everywhere around the brush show, right? If you don't have the direction. But if you're going to put in your navigation specifically address, the house number, the street number. Actually, a few days ago, I was driving with my son, and I somehow got in the car. I said, I don't know where we need to go. And my son said, but mommy, put the address in that machine, in your phone, and this lady is going to tell you exactly where to go, to the right or to the left. I said, you're so smart. And this is exactly with us. You just need to put in your mind what do you want specifically in every single area and keep the focus every single day. And remind yourself, what are you going after? What do you want? How do you want your marriage? How much money do you want to make? If you want to make 10, 15, 20,000 euros per month, I don't know in your money. So if you're going to put this focus every single day, why am I doing this? Oh, because I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to be able to take my parents to Spain. I'm going to be able to buy the car I want. I'm going to be able to help more people. Do you think you're going to have more joy in your life to wake up and do whatever you are doing? What do you think? Right. What is success for you? What is really success for you? And I'm not speaking about that success that I was chasing, this recognition. But really, when you ask yourself, not what society is saying what is success, but success what is for you. I want to show you one video. And I feel sorry that the guy from yesterday, the runner, he's not here. But
the doctors told him, your heart will explode. Please don't do it. That's what Roger Bannister heard when he decided to try to break the world record for running 1 mile. See, doctors said that it was physically impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. And yes, they told Roger Bannister that his heart would explode in the process. Why? Because no one had ever done it before. It seemed like an impossible feat, one that was more than the human body was capable of achieving. And for the longest time, no one even tried to run a mile in under 4 minutes because they accepted that it was impossible. But that was until May 6, 1954, when Roger Bannister ran the mile in just under 4 minutes. And guess what? He didn't die. And on that day, he made the impossible possible. Do you want to know the most amazing part about that story, though? Within 4 years of running that 4-minute mile, 20 more people recorded a mile in under 4 minutes. Think about that for a second. For thousands of years, no human ever ran a mile in under 4 minutes. And then once one person proved that it was possible, 20 more people did it.
Do you see what I'm trying to say you? We think from this place where it seems impossible. Do you think that guy, I don't remember his name. Do you think he was thinking possible, what he was doing? But it's only in your mind, in your thinking, up until the moment when you start taking the next step again and again. You don't need to see all road ahead. You just need to take the next step. You know, this is 2016, me at Tony Robbins, first seminar, 15,000 people. I was hungry. I was watching him, what's happening there? I said, this is the place where I belong. And when I saw Tony Robbins is coaching people, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to transform and help people like he does. A few years later, a friend of mine, he said, they have applications, they are hiring coaches. 1,000 people applied. And you know what was my first thing? Am I crazy or what? My English is not proper. Still, I'm not speaking properly. I'm from Baltics. You know, there are Americans and all these, other countries powerful. It's not going to work. You know what? It did freaking work. They chose me, they had an interview. Of course, this is another story, but I got picked from 1,000 people as one of 17 at that, so I became one of 100 Tony Robbins coaches and one of 30 Tony Robbins business results trainers. Do you really think I was thinking it's possible? If you don't know what you want and if you don't have the reason why do you want it, you will never achieve. I want to encourage you, this is the homework for you. Please go home and really specifically understand what is it that you want. Just journal. I wrote the questions so it's easier for you. Oh, did you take? Yeah? Sorry. And the next thing, guys, while you are taking, please don't forget to raise your standards. Don't think from the place where you are right now, but think from the place where you really, in dream life. You shouldn't settle for less than you are actually deserving. The third mindset shift that I learned. You have to change your subconscious limitations. Let me ask you, one person who has a burning desire, like something that you really want. Can you raise your hand? What is yours? Give me one.
Help people to achieve what they want.
Okay. Yes.
Because working in a society, in an organization, how to actually make the culture better.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Who else has a burning desire? Who has the goal? Guys, you don't have a goals? No, I'm gonna come to Romania and I'm gonna really start to shake their own Romania up. You want that your employees have the goals and you don't have the goals. Who has the goal, please? Lady in the orange, my favorite color. You wanna be, what is preventing you? But why you are not a coach? Okay, who has the goal? Yours? Very good. Why you are not there yet? So, you understand, like actually we have this inner talks, why we are not where we want to be. It is your mindset and the way of thinking. Actually, you know, if I would go and speak to everybody of you, you would say, Liene, I'm afraid, it's too hard, it's not the right time. Please be honest to me. I've been really working with a lot of people. I don't believe Romanians are different, right? You have these inner excuses why you cannot do this. But it's always about the beliefs. Who has, I am not good enough? Honestly, please, everybody is actually burned. Yes, everybody is living. Why you are chasing success? Because you don't feel good enough. I am, I'm not the smart enough. I don't have enough time. Who has, I don't have enough money. Bullshit. This is just the story that you are saying to yourself to say where you are at. In the end, you will not get what you want, but you will get what do you believe in, what you expect to happen, and what you allow to happen in your life. Another video, guys.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do, is there?
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he can fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
Do you see yourself there? The only thing that is between you and what you want in your life is yourself. If you are thinking that you want to have one thing, if you want to say, let's say money, I want to make 5,000, but inside you are believing you are not good enough, you don't have the right skill set, they are better, there's no way it's going to happen. You will just not take the step forward unless you change this. If your subconscious mind is convinced that you are a loser, it's going to say, yes, honey, you are a loser. If your subconscious mind is convinced you deserve it, trust me, this is what you're going to believe and how you're going to act. When you wake up in the morning, what do you see in the mirror? Do you see the lion or this kitten? What do you see? Do you see, yes, everything is possible for me. I really deserve the best. Please tell me, lion or kitten? Who sees the lion? Few hands. Honesty, I am not any different than you are. Not even a little bit. Do you see I have 2 hands, 2 legs? But I have a dream and determination.
Look, I can be a shark. Now, my whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my mom. I like my sisters. I like my dad. I like my hair. I like my hair. I like my haircuts. I like my pajamas. I like my stuff. I like my rooms. I like my whole house. My whole house is great. I can do anything good. Yeah.
Do you think this girl is going to be successful? Do you think she's going to be happy? She ain't no different than you are. She just has different self-talk. How to change it? Start with your self-talk. Never use, I cannot do this. If I don't know how to do this, I will find a way. I'm fat? No. I'm on the way to lose the weight. I will never be rich. Just watch me. When I became a coach, everybody was laughing. My relatives, my auntie, are you kidding me? They were like that looking at me. The teachers who were in the university when I was studying master's degree, they said, yeah, right, everybody has to go through some learnings in their life. And you know what I said? Just watch me. Fourth mindset shift. Who is afraid? Everybody. Everybody is afraid. You know what are the biggest fear? Actually, this all 3. There is one fear why we are holding ourselves back. The fear of rejection. That fear, if I will not do the right, I will be rejected. People will not love me. Why do you think I was chasing success? Because I was afraid. I'm gonna be alone. I was still afraid to come on this stage. What if they will not like me? What if they will reject me? This is normal human being. But what is fear? Fear is actually a projection, an attempt to avoid imaginary dangers. We are thinking what could happen, and we are projecting the worst scenario, right? When you are, I don't know, you are trying to call your kids and they are not picking up the phone. What is the first thing that you are thinking? Oh my gosh, they went, there is the car, right? Do you agree? This is how our mind is trained to think. We allow our bad experiences, what we have experienced in the past, we are allowing these experiences to determine what we're going to do today. If you had a bad, wrong marriage and you got divorced and he cheated on you or she, trust me, you're going to think everybody is a cheater. This is how mind thinks. But fear is your ego to keep you safe. I'm going to show you one thing quick. I want to show you so that you can understand. Look, this is your life right now, what you are doing. Every single action you are taking, you are doing in your comfort zone, right? Approximately the same, right? Every single day. But I will tell you, one step out of your existing comfort zone, you know what's going to happen with your ability and capacity? It's going to stretch. That's why I said, just next step. When you are scared, do it anyway. It's going to stretch your abilities. How do you get rid of your fears? You cannot. It's impossible. It's our protection mechanism. What I do every single day, I was actually Vlad saying, he's also a perfectionist. I said, you know one thing that I'm reminding every single day? Better is done than perfect. Or I will do it now the way I can do, and I will perfect it later. Then I visualize. Let's do a quick exercise. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And I want you to, please everybody, close your eyes. Just, please. I want you to see yourself in your kitchen standing. You're going to your refrigerator. You're opening refrigerator and there is a big, fat, juicy lemon. You take this lemon and you go back on the table and you take a knife and you cut this lemon in the half. You take this one half and you squeeze the juice in your mouth. What was happening there? You can open your eyes. Who had the savila in your... Yes, but there's no lemon. Where the heck is lemon? We need to trick your mind. You are imagining where you want to be, and you trick your mind. As simple as that. And then another thing, positive focus. Repeat gratitude. While I was sitting there and still feeling afraid, you know what I was doing? I was scrolling down my phone and looking at my kids' pictures because I'm so grateful for them. And you know what is the trick? Your mind doesn't see the difference between the fear. No, your mind cannot be afraid and grateful at the same time. It's impossible. Only one focus. Okay, the last video.
And somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. And you go, yeah. And everybody goes, yeah. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. You wake up the next day and you go, down and you said where you were going to meet and everybody's there. So you get in the van and you're like, oh my God. And your stomach is terrible, you can't eat and everything, but you don't want to be the only punk who doesn't jump out of this airplane. So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet, and somebody opens the door, and in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open, and you're looking out down to death. And they say, on 3, and they say, 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3, and you go, Arr! And you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize at the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. Why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. It only just ruins your day. The best things in life on the other side of terror, on the other side of your maximum fear, are all of the best things in life.
Things in your life is another side of your fear. Can you promise me here one thing? That you're gonna go home and you will do this one thing that you have been always putting away because you were afraid. Can you promise me? Like on 1, 2, and you just do it because there is a bliss. And you know what's happening? You are getting more satisfied with yourself. You're getting more confident. And that your capacity, ability is stretching. And the last shift, I know my time is up, and thank you so much. I'm sorry for being a little bit late. But it's very important. And please write with big, big, big letters. You are the average of 5 people that you spend the most time with. Who are those 5 people that you spend the most time with? Are they encouraging you? Are they saying, yes, you can, I believe in you? Or they're like, are you kidding me? When I started to become famous in Latvia, you know what my friends said? Liene, you're just showing off. I eliminated one after another. And every time I cry, every single time I cried, because they were dear friends for me from childhood. But you know, I realized that, for instance, if you would want to lose your weight, would it be easier to lose with the people who are eating hamburger, French fries, or with the people who are exercising, eating salad? What do you think, first one or second one? Second one. The same. And one more small thing. Who is going to your friends or to someone asking for advice about marriage, about money, who are poor and desperate in their marriage or single? Those people will not give you the right advice. In fact, they will pull you down exactly where they are at. So stop sharing your things and asking for advice from the people who are not where you want to be. I'm seeking this environment who are successful, not because I want to be in that. I want to learn. I'm hungry. I want to learn what is the formula that they are doing, because they know. Do you agree with me? So, your next homework, you're gonna just write down the 5 people that you are spending the most time with. I know it's a sign that I need to finish. And run away from those who are saying that you are crazy, who are saying, who do you think you are? Just run away. You will get over this if I got then you too. And my last question for you is, how do you want to live your life? When you leave this conference, how do you want to live your life? It's not that hard. When you have the right people around you, when you have the right mentor, when you have your goals, and you remind yourself about these goals, and you step over this fear, and you eliminate, I'm not good enough, don't say me, I don't have time. And also teach to your employees, I said, never say me you don't have time. You say, it is not my priority. Truth? It is just not my priority. It's not my priority to be rich and wealthy and make as much money as I want. My husband, my wife is not my priority. My health is not my priority. Rewrite your book. I really encourage you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. You are such an inspiration.
I couldn't hear.
Thank you for being with us. You are such an inspiration.
Thank you.
The silence says everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ce ne-a făcut și pentru a se așeza cumva informația, eu
Dar
zic
cred că e
că
nevoie de o foarte scurtă pauză.
merităm o pauză de cafea, așa de vreo 10 minuțele,
Maximum,
și vă rugăm
5,
să
7,
reveniți
10.
pentru că ziua continuă. Și eu zic că promite.